In today's video, we're going to try a Cuban pastry called pastelito. Welcome to Florida Living. I'm Mark and this is the Average Me channel. In today's video, we are going to try a Cuban pastry. Before we do, I want to show you these lizards that we got. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're going to look really great either out on our wall outside or maybe even right here in the lanai. But I really like them. It's kind of a frosted glass here. You can probably see my finger through that. But they look really nice, better than I expected. So what do I have here? As you probably would suspect, down here, let me get this cover off. Down here in, there we go. Down here in southern Florida, there's a very strong Cuban influence. Now, on the Naples side where I am, it's not nearly like Miami. Oh my goodness, just taking that lid off, it smells so good. And this is what's known as a pastelito. I have never had one before. It's a flaky, crusted guava and cream cheese pastry. Now this one looks a lot like an apple turnover or a cherry turnover. I've seen some of them that are more square with little slits at the top. So I don't know if there is a traditional shape to them, but it just sounds delicious. I don't know if you like cream cheese pastries. I just love them. And I suppose that the right way to enjoy this would be with a Cuban coffee, which is a really strong coffee. It comes in a tiny little cup, like an espresso kind of, I suppose. I've never had it, but that's going to be another thing, right? So let's see what these are all about. I'm going to take one of these long ones and I'm just going to cut it open and we're going to see what it looks like inside. So this one, it doesn't look like it has a lot of the guava filling. This looks more like it's just cream cheese. Let's give it a taste. It's really good. Really, really flaky and moist. There's not any of the guava in this one. So I'm going to try this other one, the turnover style. And let's see what that's like. Okay, now I kind of flattened it out. But you can see here we have the guava and the cream cheese. And it looks like there might be a sugary glaze on top of this. I don't think I've ever eaten a pastry that has guava filling. It's a little different taste. Very, very tasty. Nice and sweet and mixes well with, or blends well rather, with that cream cheese. I'm tempted to eat it all, but right now it's about 6 in the evening and I want to save some of this for breakfast because I like it and it's very tempting to just eat it all. Quite a difference between the just cream cheese and the guava. I certainly prefer the guava. Now, I would imagine it wouldn't matter what the shape is. This is like a turnover. As I said, I've seen those that are square or rectangular with the slices in it. I would imagine if the recipe and the crust are relatively the same, I can't imagine how it's going to be a different experience. But I'll tell you, I always enjoy the Cuban culture down here. You know, the Cuban sandwiches, the pulled pork with the the pickles in there and all, and this is really good as well. So we didn't get a lot of this type of stuff up in Wisconsin. Naturally, we have pastries, but guava and things from the Cuban culture weren't as predominant up there as it is down here. So it's a beautiful day out here. It's not too warm. really comfortable here in the lanai. Just a little while ago, the mockingbirds were raising a ruckus, and 2 days ago, there was an armadillo that strolled through the yard. I was seeing some holes. They dig holes about this big. They're, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 inches deep. And at first I saw it and I wondered, what's been digging here? And I thought it was either a possum or an armadillo. And sure enough, the armadillo came strolling through. That was interesting to see as well. And I got to show you this. My night camera picked up 2 things, 3 weird things. Number one, we had to stop this a few times. It looks like a bobcat. Doesn't have a tail, and if you look at it carefully, it does have, the fluffy cheeks, and we suspect this is a bobcat. It's pretty big. And the second thing we saw was this. It's one of those Cuban, talking about Cuban things, it's one of those Cuban tree frogs. And somehow it got up above my camera, and then it took the camera is about 7-8 feet high, looking down. So it climbed up there, and then it took a mighty leap. And then the last thing, I've told you, you've seen the videos here of the deer that come through my yard, but this was, in the dark of night, the cloak of darkness, and this buck came strolling through. You can see the wall on one side, my house on the other, and he must have come up through the backyards because about, 6 houses down, it's the wild. It's just the, the wild Everglades down there. So anything can come up through there. I've seen snakes and bears and everything else come up. So the deer kind of funnel up, and he must came walking through the yard and walk alongside the house. And right now I'm seeing they have these giant, they're huge. These bugs gotta be, 4 inches. They're like giant grasshoppers. And I can see one of them crawling up my wall right now. It's not that interesting that I'm going to get my camera over there, but I just glanced over and I saw that rascal. I don't like them, but nevertheless, there they are, because when they hatch, they're just everywhere. I don't know what feeds on those, but anyway, I know it's getting a little disgusting talking about bugs while I'm eating, but I hope you enjoyed my my little initial journey into Cuban pastries, pastelitos, and if you have a chance, I would tell you, give them a try, because these are tasty, they're delicious. I'm saving the rest of these for breakfast. Thanks for joining me, everybody. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. Don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.